Hello Stamper, welcome to Frenchie's video. I'm Frances Martin, independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and today I'm going to share a card made with the Bokeh Dots. That's the one, and the term bokeh means like blurry in the photograph world. So I thought this with flowers in the back was perfect. So let's get started. First thing you want to do is I took a piece of vellum cardstock that measure 4 3/8 by 2 7/8. Now I'm going to take smoky slate and I'm going to ink my stamp. And remember, this is normal. It's stamp and don't stamp, really. That's the look of this. Oh, let's back up this a bit. First, let's do our flower, and that's from Artistically Asian, and I stamped that with Mossy Meadow. So we're gonna go ahead and stamp this with Mossy Meadow. This piece measured the same than the vellum. It's 2 7/8 by 4 5/8. I'm gonna go more at the bottom than the top, because the top we get a little thing to all our vellum. Gonna stamp that right here. Voila. Now the other one I did real red or cherry cobbler. Now I'm using Coastal Cabana, because that's we're going to decorate it with Coastal Cabana. And on the top of the flowers I'm coloring with the matching piece of cardstock that I had on the side. So it's just add a little bit of color, so you can use any color that you wish. And you see I go outside of it to get that color. Here we go. That is it. Now that you get this done, then you're going to take your vellum, put it on top of this, so that's going to give you a ballpark about where to stamp your background stamp. See, I get something there. Okay, let's put one on top of the other. Now we're going to take our bokeh stamp, and it's the one with the circle. It's one like with stars. It's the one with the circle. And I mount it flush on the side, so then I can try to get straight. So I'm going to try to cover my image. Going to go more at the bottom. And let's make that right there. Okay. Perfect. Now the vellum won't dry right away, so I'm using the heat tool. If not, if you put your hand on that, it's going to smear. So I'm just drying this with the heat tool, and I'm not patient with drying, so especially during a video. Here we go. We're going to call it good, and hopefully it's dry enough. You don't want to keep the heat tool too much long at the same spot, because it's going to melt the vellum. Now we're going to take our fast fuse, or any type. Fast fuse is not available anymore. That's what I'm using there. Any type of adhesive, and then we're going to mount this together. Voila. I got Thinking of You. That is from the stamp set Sheltering Tree. And we're going to stamp the Thinking of You right at the bottom. I'm using Stays On. I don't like to use Stays On with follow polymer, but once in a while that it's good. Et voila. That's going to dry way faster, because Stays On dry way faster. And then I like to clean that right away when it stays on. I don't want to leave it on my photopolymer. One thing though, when you use photopolymer, do not use Stays On cleaner. That's a no-no. Now I got a little piece here that measure 3 by 3 3/4, and we're gonna let's put that aside for now. Let's glue this one. This is 3 by 4 3/4. And so it's just a tiny, tiny little border. Very tiny. And this is Smoky Slate. The other one I thought I grabbed Smoky Slate and I grabbed Gray Granite. So, but I think because I used the ink Smoky Slate, I thought Smoky Slate would be better. Now, I want a little bit more white there, so you can even lift it up. See, I'm going to go just above that smear there. Doesn't matter what you get in the back, even if it's longer, that's perfectly fine. Now I'm using, instead of embossing it with the petal pair, I'm using this come in a combo, and I'm going to have all measurement on my blog, all product on my blog. I'm just going to cut this here. We're going to do a faux bow, so wrap that around your finger and a double knot. It's a very delicate ribbon. Love it. Here we go. Now I got a piece of Whisper White for our card base that measure 8.5 by 5.5, score at 4 1/4. I got a piece of Coastal Cabana to go with the flowers that measure 5.5 by 1.5. Going to put that just at this side there. Leave it just a little border of white on the other side. Here we go. Now we're going to put our adhesive in the back of this. And I'm going to put my little faux bow here. And I had plenty of ribbon. I'm going to try to line that up on both sides there. And usually I always like to put a little bit more ribbon. And not ribbon, but adhesive. And then put that right here. So this would be a card that would be good for any occasion really, and even sympathy. So now here the loop that we get, I'm going to cut that sideways, and it should stay straight, not all. Let me pull it down and pull it down. Here we go, and that's a bit too long. Let me get my better scissors here. Here we go. Here we go. So now, if your vellum want to lift up at the bottom, what I done on mine, this is Tumble Glue, and you want 2 little dots. And when I mean little dot, very barely, so you don't see the glue. Very little. Don't be generous on this glue, just because it's on vellum. Bring it down and hold. Et voila. That is it, my friend, for this bokeh on vellum. I think it turned out so lovely. Was I off the whole time? I sure hope not. So this is it. Hope you enjoyed this, and again, all the product will be listed on my blog above in the hide. That's the direct link, or in the description. Thank you so much, and if you like this, give me the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe right below that red button. Subscribe, and you're going to get notification when I post a new video. That's 3 times a week. Bye bye for now.